I felt bad for my parents, though, when I got home for those 9 months, because they were empty nesters for 1 week. I'm the oldest of 4. My youngest 2 siblings are 10 and 12 years younger than me. And they were empty nesters for 1 week, and then I came home with all my bags like, well, I hope the apartment upstairs is still available. And they were like, please stop calling your childhood bedroom the apartment. This is not a great sign. But it wasn't like, I don't know, one thing that was kind of cool was, like I said, my youngest 2 siblings are 10 and 12 years younger than me, right? So we've never really lived together. Like, I've always been out of the house. So this is the first time we all get to live together as adults. So my sister Maddie is like one of the coolest people I've ever met. And then my brother Kevin is a Kevin. So I think you understand the personality type. And when we were younger, Kevin and I used to have a conjoined room, right? So I had to walk through my room to get to Kevin's room. And in New York, a conjoined room, that was just your first apartment, really. But in Hagerstown, Maryland, a conjoined room meant that Kevin was a mistake. That was not a bedroom, that was a hallway. But when he was a baby, it wasn't that weird, right? Because I'm only 12 years old, so I'm not getting into a lot of mischief yet, you know? But then as Kevin and I both started growing, our bodies both started changing, but in very different ways, right? Like he's turning 3, 4, 5 years old. He's just learning that he has a body. I'm turning 15, 16, 17 years old, and my body's changing in a very sexual way. So I remember this one time I'm sitting in my room, and I just hear Kevin yell out, "Well, my wiener's hard!" And at 16, I just yelled the only thing I knew, and I was like, well, then don't touch it! Because all I knew at 16 is you don't touch it, you touch it a lot, or you flip it in your waistband, and you pray that Mr. Warrenfeld doesn't call you up in geometry class. But my siblings and I, we are all very close, and it's because every year my dad puts together these family vacations. And the last one we got to go on, we went to Moab, Utah in the middle of August. Yeah, okay, one person. If you don't know, we went to the middle of the desert in the middle of the summer because my dad doesn't know how the earth works. And we were camping. Well, we were glamping. We were glamping. So, I had to wear my Columbia boots, but I could also wear my crushed cotton shorts if I felt so inclined. But there were these canvas tents, and my siblings and I, we were all sharing one tent, and it was just unimaginably hot the entire time. And so what they do is they have these little misters in there, and they try and keep you cool, but they turn them off at 10 p.m. to try and help the environment and save some water. So it's like great for the environment, but fuck me right now. And like what they do is they give you a wet washcloth and a little fan to try and help you sleep and quell the unimaginable heat. And so we're all sitting there in our beds, we're trying to figure out what to do to cool ourselves off. My brother Charlie, who I have not mentioned yet because he is not my favorite sibling, he's a wildlife scientist. So he was just like, if we circumvent the fans, and we were like, honestly, Charlie, the best part of this vacation were the 3 days you weren't on it. Like, shut up. My sister Maddie did absolutely nothing. She just laid there in the bed, just melting into it. And every once in a while you hear her whisper, why don't we just go to the Bahamas? But she wasn't wrong. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, I'm the oldest. So if I take the wet washcloth and I put it on my chest and I'm laying on my back, I'm like, yeah, but if I'm sleeping on my back, I might start snoring and I might wake up my siblings. So now I go to my side. I'm like, yeah, but if it's on this side, I gotta keep moving the fan, go to the other side. As I'm trying to figure that out, I started hearing snoring and I look down and Kevin is face down. He is completely naked and he has the wet washcloth on his back and the fan propped between his legs and it's blowing straight across his asshole. And then Kevin slept for 9 straight hours. I don't know if he's the smartest or the dumbest. But the other thing my dad does on these vacations is we never just go to one location. We always road trip, right? And so we started in Denver, we went to Moab, and now we're on our way back to Denver. And he always messes up the rental car. Like, I don't know how, but he just always, so this time there was no trunk space. So just a 2-week vacation with all our luggage, and there's nowhere to put it. So what we had to do is we had to put down one of the seats and we stacked all the luggage there, right? And so my brother, Charlie, my sister Maddie and I are sitting in the back seat with our legs just pressed against our chest, right? For just hours on end. And if you're behind the bags, it's just like being in a submarine. You just have this little tiny window just I hope I get out there one day. And so we're driving back and finally my dad's like, you know what, I want to switch it up. Will, you're going to drive for a bit. So we start switching the seats around, and my dad climbs in the back. Kevin puts the seat back, and it crushes my dad's legs. And my dad's like, Kevin, Ryan, you fix this right now. And we riot. We're like, it's been like this the entire time. You don't care about us. You don't love us. So the other thing that happened is when we were in Denver the first time, my brother Charlie bought a bunch of edibles. And now on our way back to Denver, he's trying to finish said edibles. And when I say Charlie's a wildlife scientist, he's got like hair down the middle of his back, he's got a huge unkempt beard, and he's been sitting in that submarine seat for hours now, right? And right as my dad screams, the edibles kicked in. So Charlie just turns and he's like, "Oh, hello, Father. Welcome to the back seat, Father. We have no use for legs back here, Father. We've cut our legs off for currency. And the currency we prefer are farts." My dad was just like, "Yeah, nope, not doing that." So he goes back to the front and keeps driving, but now Charlie's so high that every time we took a right turn, he thought that he was Captain Ahab and kept screaming out, "There she blows!" So hopefully Charlie's not invited back to any family vacations, and we all just win.